right, we are back, everybody, on a Thursday night. Rhori Johnston with you. We're glad you're with us on News Channel 5 Plus for OpenLine as we talk about funding for minority and women-owned businesses. We know that there is a big need out there as we make a push overall to get more people involved with the entrepreneurial spirit. And as I introduced earlier, our guests are John Eisen and Dawson, both from the nonprofit Pathway Lending. First of all, where do you get your money?
So Pathway has a lot of sources for funding. Our primary source of funding is banks. So banks loan money to Pathway so that we can go into the community and invest in minority-owned, women-owned small businesses across the state. And then we also get a portion of our funding through partnerships, through grants, through the federal government, and other organizations that provide us capital in that way.
You know, we know right now interest rates have been pretty low. So what kind of terms do you typically offer for a loan?
It's a good question. It really varies depending on what you're trying to do with the money. So if you're looking to purchase real estate, that may be on a 20-year amortization where you pay that money back over a longer time. If you're buying a vehicle or a piece of equipment, maybe that'll be in the 3 to 5 to 7 year range. So it really depends on what you're going to do with that money. What's really exciting about this, the FlexFund with the Wells Fargo partnership, is that we're able to offer even more flexible terms on our loans than traditionally we do, as well as the interest rates are a lot more customer friendly, I should say. Right. Because it's a grant, it's not a loan. We're able to offer just an amazing opportunity, an amazing deal for small businesses.
This FlexFund, the release I have here says that folks may qualify for funding ranging from $25,000 to $250,000 with terms of 2 to 5 years. Pathway Lending's Flex Fund is an alternative to debt and equity, and this is what I found interesting. A portion of the amount is treated as debt that the business must repay with interest, like a typical loan. The remainder as a share of revenue, equity, or deferred interest the business can wait to repay when the term ends. This approach frees capital from regular debt payments so businesses can invest in growth right away by adding more workers, new business opportunity. That's really great. It just, frees up more money for further investments to grow the business, right?
That's exactly right. When you go out and get a traditional loan, you have to start paying it back right away. Yeah. With this Flex Fund and through the partnership with Wells Fargo, it's super patient capital, which basically means you don't have to start paying it back right away, which allows you to take that money and invest it in the business and grow your revenue. And just like you said, a portion of that repayment is tied to the revenue that you're able to grow. And it's based on your revenue growth. So, we're successful if the business is successful.
All right, we're going to go to the phones. We have a couple of callers in right now, and we'll start with line 1. It's Greg. Hey, Greg, welcome. Greg, you there?
Yes.
Hi, go ahead. What's on your mind?
I had a question to ask. Of course, I am a senior citizen and been retired for a few years. And I was wondering what would be, the possibility of getting back into business. I was self-employed for a little over 20-some years.
Okay.
And a branch manager for Fortune 500 corporations. And I feel I have good skills still, management skills, and being a people person.
Right.
What possibly would I have to do in order to try to qualify to start up, a business and training people and showing them the right way of doing it?
Yeah, like consulting, right? Consulting and training, management consulting and training, right?
Right.
Okay. Thank you. Let's listen into what they have to say, guys.
Yeah, from my perspective, I would say, it's never too late to start a business, as I always tell people. And you never want to let those good skills and the things that you built up over time, being that manager in that Fortune 500 company, go to waste. So for me, it's just coming up with a business plan. I always tell people, go and test the market, find out if there's a need out there, because entrepreneur is just basically a problem solver. So if there's a need out there, put a business plan together and figure out how much money you're going to need, what type of resources you're going to need, and go out there and really just give it all you got.
Key, that's a good point that you mentioned. No matter what age, if you have a skill set that you think has value, it's really important to identify that and then try to grow it and monetize it, right?
Yes. That's the name of the game. You never want skills to go to waste. You never want to put them on the shelf. So I would say go out there, help train people, help train the next generation. There's a lot of people out looking for knowledge, and it's a lot of people who don't really have the experience and they're leading people in the wrong way. So if you truly have that knowledge base and you want to help people and you have that drive, I say go for it.
Yeah, that's great. All right, good luck to you, Greg. We appreciate it. Next up is Tiffany. Hey, Tiffany, welcome to OpenLine. Tiffany?
Hi, my name is Tiffany, and I live in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I was calling to see when can I apply for a FlexFund loan. And I also wanted to know, is it open to businesses anywhere in the state or just Memphis, Nashville, Knoxville, and Chattanooga?
Oh, good question. Yeah. Guys, John, you want to start?
Yeah, sure. So the exact, application beginning start date has not been announced. So we're still finalizing the details of that and more information to come. Yes, it is available to businesses across the state, although we are focused, in the major markets where there's obviously a lot of activity. Those are kind of our bases to jump off across the state.
Right. All right. Good question there. All right. I want to just pause for a second and ask you guys about what we talked about before, and that is that it's not only the loan, right? It's, and I'm going to read here, it's, the ongoing support is so important. And we've done a number of shows and news reports over on News Channel 5 through the years. And we know there's so many different nonprofits and other kind of government funded groups out there that are just waiting to help. Like you said, free mentoring, business coaching services, help with creating that business plan if you don't have a knowledge of that. Online marketing, which is huge. Networking events. We know there's the Entrepreneur Center. There's the Incubation Center here in Nashville. There's different counties have maybe black-owned businesses or women-owned business groups. There's the Minority Business Development Center, I believe, or Development Association. Talk about how you kind of pull all of these resources together and guide people along, because like you said, you're giving them a loan, you want them to succeed and be able to obviously then repay the loan, and there's a lot of help out there.
Yeah, it definitely is. A cool thing about Pathway is we have a whole education learning branch. So we have the business advisory services. So if you get a micro loan, or if you are a business that in special need, you can have an advisor attached to your business throughout the life of your loan. But you don't have to have a loan to get our services. We have the education side where we have a e-learning platform where we have on-demand courses, live workshops, live classes. We have the emerging developer program that I'm spearheaded over, where it's basically raising up the next generation of real estate developers and real estate investors here in the city. So, and we have a lot of people within Pathway Education and Pathway Lending that have that entrepreneur background. And we try to bring in mentors, we try to bring in, subject matter experts, and we try to help anywhere possible during the life cycle of that business.
How do you get the word out about all these great services that are available and make sure people know, hey, we're here to help and there's people and groups who want to help? How do you message that?
Part of it is like shows like right now, talking to people. A lot of things, a lot of the business and people we get, it comes from word of mouth. Like, we started our first emerging developer cohort last fall, and I've got so many referrals each time we have another cohort from the people who went through the course. We have people who received loans and received educational programming in the past, and we get a lot of bank referrals also that send people our way.
Excellent. All right, we're going to pause. We got a couple of callers on hold. Thank you, callers. Be patient. And guys, I'm going to ask you during the break, coming up in a few minutes, I want to ask maybe if you can give me a few examples of in recent years of some really good success stories, if you have them, if you can share them with us. And we will hear from our callers as well. 737 plus. We have some open lines. We'll be right back.